We're scarifying the lawns today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and King Seeds. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on the lawn today, but before that, just a reminder that as well as our weekly videos that we put out, we also do a weekly podcast where we cover all areas of gardening. We chat to somebody from the world of horticulture, answer your gardening questions and do a few jobs for the week. So if you are into your podcast, you can get that from your normal provider. So it'd be really nice to get you on board with that as well. But back to the lawn. If you remember back here, this is the garden that we're developing here at Ivy Cottage. And one of the things we did back in the spring was we reshaped the lawns to form some new borders, which meant lifting turf from one area, building up the soil levels, relaying it, taking out the dips. There were quite a lot of dips in the ground. So we lifted the turf, put soil in and then turfed back on to try and get the lawn in some sort of an order. And we also did a little bit of scarifying just to get rid of some of the dead material in there. So over the summer, the lawn has got much better, if I'm honest. It's thickened up. It was quite sparse in places. You can't see the areas that we turf. They've all grown in together, but it's still really, really spongy when you walk on it and a little bit uneven underfoot. And that's because we've got this build-up of old material. And if I just sort of show you here, if we rake, we can see that there is actually some quite long grasses that have just bent over in there, and it's really thick. Now, we haven't got much in the way of moss in this, so that's good. The grass is doing what it should do. It's growing really thick and it's smothering the lawn, but it is quite long and it's laid over years and years of mowing gone flat. So what I want to do is to rake some of that out, and we call that scarifying. And the idea of scarifying is we can do it pretty much through the growing season. Traditionally, it always used to be done in the spring and in the autumn, but nowadays people that look after lawns, quality lawns and golf greens and bowling greens, they will do it little and often right the way through the season. And that's the secret, little and often. Gone are the days when you scalp your lawn with a scarifier, because that stresses it and it takes a long time to grow back. So what I want to do is just take a little bit of this old material out, the flat material. It's not necessarily dead, it's just lying flat. I want to lift it up. The scarifier will get rid of it, and what that will do then is it will get air down to the roots, so it helps with surface drainage, aeration around the base of the plant, so we're less likely to get fungal diseases on the lawn through the winter. And it also gets rid of that thatch, which is the dead material that has built up in the base of the lawn over many, many years. So air circulation, drainage will all be improved, and it will stimulate strong growth from the base of the grass stalk. So instead of getting tall stems, we get lovely short, thick, stocky grass from the base. So again, next year will help to improve the lawn that little bit more. So, you know, by this time next year, I'm hoping this will be a really good quality lawn. Certainly not a bowling green, but it will be a nice green, lush lawn. Now, traditionally, this is the way that we would do it. You know, and I remember many, many years ago as a young gardener, we used to do this in the parks, and we'd get this, springbok rake or just a wire tined rake. It's flexible, and the idea is that you would just rake through and it would pull out that rubbish and lift it like that. And it's great if you've got moss in the lawn to do that as well. So we would do it by hand. It's quite hard work. It's better than a gym membership. And there we can see we've got this long straggly growth there. You can see that's quite long. So these grasses have been growing flat, and I don't want them to. I want these now to be cut off at that level, and it's from right down there in the base of these wiry stems that will get nice new growth. So I could spend the next 3.5 hours, or maybe just 2 hours if I got 2 of these, and Jill could have the other one as well. But she's got to hold the camera, so she tells me. And I'd probably then need to go and lie down in a dark room. So I'm going to get rid of that for now. Ideal though for small areas. Other way you can do it is to use a mechanical scarifier, and we've got two here to show you. We've seen them before, and this one is an electric one, ideal for smaller lawns. And if I flip it over, we can see it's essentially got the wire tines on there that look just like the rake that I've been using, and these are going to whiz round. And this one has the added bonus that it also collects it in this box. So it's a bit like a lawnmower that collects the clippings. So this is going to rake it. We can adjust the height with that. So let's just give it a go and see what happens. I'm going to dig in a little bit more, so I feel it's not quite low enough. So I'm going to lower that down a little bit more. So we're going to just cut into the grass a little bit deeper. I don't want to be cutting the soil. I can hear that working now and doing its job. And if we see there, we can see exactly what it's been doing. It's just touching the soil surface there. So that's another good thing. If you've got very little sort of bumpy soil where you've had worm casts over the years, by scarifying it in different directions, so once that way and then that way, it will help to level those little bumpy bits out. And, you know, just by going up and down there, we can see that this has already taken quite a lot out. What I did do, of course, you noticed I mowed the grass just to take the top off it first. So I don't want this to be doing the mowing particularly, so that's why I topped it. But if you've got a bigger area, then you could use something like this. And this is normally a cylinder mower, but it's got an interchangeable cylinder. So this is the Cobra Fortis mower. And what you can do is take this out, replace it with the cut-in cylinder, or you can put in a dethatcher, a spiker, or as you can see here, we've got the Scarify cartridge. And again, we've got these wire tines that whiz round very quickly. We adjust the height with that. So what I can do, if I pop the box on again, so that we can collect it. Or would you like to see them whizzing round, Jill, first?
You okay?
Yeah, let's show everybody how they whiz round.
It's safe.
It's safe, of course it's safe. So right, let's give this a start. And then we'll go. So put the box on, then it will make it easier. And we're off. So there you have it, just a couple of passes up and down, and again already it's starting to take some of that old material out there, some of this old long growth that we were talking about. These ones that were just trailing along the ground, he's going to chop those off. They will then bush out from where it was cut off and give us this thicker lawn. So I could go a little bit deeper. So what I'll do is probably do it once this way. I'll then do it at 90 degrees that way. So that is then going to be cutting through it like that. And then I'll just finish off by running the mower over it one final time, just to pick any little bits up that it missed, or these long little bits here that are a bit tufty and still sticking up. And then all I could do then is basically leave it over winter. One more thing that you could do if you wanted to is you could give it an autumn lawn feed, which is low in nitrogen, because we don't want to encourage lots of lush new green growth. What we want is root growth. So the higher phosphate in there and the potash will encourage strong root development, winter hardiness over the winter months. So come next spring, it will grow away and be much stronger. So that is more or less it. The only thing I will probably do in the winter is when the leaves start to fall off the trees, which won't be long now, because here we are the second week in October. So another month we're going to have a lot of leaves falling on the lawn. I will rake those up by hand. They will go into the compost bin, but on the borders we'll leave them and they'll rot down. But the reason we're taking them off the lawn is if we leave a blanket of leaves on the lawn, that excludes the light from the lawn, and then the grass will go yellow and it's more prone to diseases. So it's important that we keep the lawn clear of debris over winter. And that's it. Hopefully next year it'll spring to life and then we'll have a wonderful lawn. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and if you have got a bit of work that needs doing on your lawn, now is the perfect time for the next 2 or 3 weeks really, into about the end of this month, end of October. Don't forget, all the videos that we've done you can find on YouTube, and we'll be back again in the garden next week, so we'll see you then. Bye.